You're watching Rotary News. Tatiana Tvila is working in the studio. Shortly about the main themes at the beginning. Who will be the leader of the district in 2019-2020 Rotarian year? Elections of Governor-Nominee of District 2232 are finished. Vaccines work. Ukraine joined the World Immunization Week. See you in Lviv, the first conference of District 2232 Belarus-Ukraine. About this and other events we will tell you in a few seconds. Elections of Governor-Nominee of District 2232 for 2019-2020 Rotarian years are finished. Nikolai Steblanko, the charter president of Rotary Club Ukraine, the Rotarian Magazine publisher, is elected governor-nominee. Hello, Nikolai. What was your reaction when you learned the result of elections?
Before to tell you about my feelings about final results, I would like to tell my feelings about the whole during the whole election process. In the beginning, when I had the results of nomination committee, I had feelings about appreciate that they saw in me the good candidate for governor. But then when we had a challenge candidate, I feel that now all the clubs see in me the governor. But the final results gave me the feelings that the most of all Rotary clubs in Ukraine and Belarus believes me, and they see me as the governor. I hope during my governor year I will change the mind of Rotary clubs who vote for the challenge candidate.
John Germ, president of Rotary International, appealed to Rotarians on World Immunization Week, which was held from the 24th to the 30th of April. Vaccination is one of the most important advances in public health, as the presidential message says. But results can be much better. Rotary International is one of the organizers of World Immunization Week. Mission of annual global action is contribution of increasing on the society awareness of vaccination importance. Preventing diseases, Rotary service to humanity in nowadays and in the future. Vaccines work was the motto of the World Immunization Week in 2017. Upon the initiative of Parents for Vaccination, a non-governmental organization established by Rotarians, Ukraine became an active participant of it. During the preparation to Ukrainian Immunization Week, awareness-raising activities were held with the support of Rotary clubs. And on the 22nd and 23rd of April, parents, doctors and journalists throughout the country were learning how to become the agents of changes in vaccination. Ina Sareglis reported to continue the release.
They are called agents of change. Their mission is very responsible and important. They want to convey to people a truthful information about vaccination.
Rotary International was one of the first to support the World Health Organization's initiative to hold European and World Immunization Week. For 5 years already, large-scale events are held. Their object is to inform of importance of vaccination for disease prevention. This spring, Ukraine hasn't only joined the worldwide effort, but has held its own Ukrainian Immunization Week as well. This is for the first time in Ukrainian history. In 2017, that is not just within the European Immunization Week, but is truly the Ukrainian Immunization Week, and now there are more and more activities, non-governmental organizations, public engagement of many Ukrainian citizens, including doctors, which enables us to raise the attention of covering this issue to the higher level. The Ukrainian Immunization Week was supported by Parents for Vaccination, a non-government organization, and also supported by Rotary International. Before this large-scale event started, a 2-day training of agents of change in vaccination took place in Kyiv.
Ми вже давно займаємося питаннями.
We have already been dealing with the issues of spreading the information and assuring the parents on vaccination. And we came up with the idea that it was time to choose people among parents and doctors who would be involved into it. And the name suits the nature of it. Parents, doctors and journalists, with the help of experienced speakers and experts, learned how to use information on vaccination to teach other people and to be persuasive. An agent of change is firstly a person who doesn't change the responsibility for any decision, especially about their children's health, their own health, and health of their relatives onto somebody else. Despite the government, politicians, medics, and the fact that there are no funds, they change our life for better, and they are responsible for development of our country. I am a doctor. I want to tell my colleague about it. I'm supposed to understand why I'm telling him about it. Realize your responsibility towards yourself, towards the children, the country, the society, and the healthy future. And the rejection of vaccination is a road to epidemic and the extinction of the nation. So we are appealing to the healthy people. In Ternopil, there are many people and establishments interested to solve this issue. And you could see our team includes pediatricians, epidemiologists, and pharmacists. We will try to coordinate our efforts for the representatives of Ternopil National Medical University. And we are planning to involve students to bring as much of information on vaccination as possible.
Sure, I've learned a lot of new information. Now I can share it with my friends who don't vaccinate their children. At least I hope I can tell them about it in an accessible way, to defend my position, referring to what I've learned here. Sure, it is helpful.
The training wasn't just a grant for agents of change. Within the communication, some new projects and interesting ideas were born. One of them was an establishment of non-government organization, Grannies for Vaccination in Ukraine.
I consider this initiative to be very important. I call all the grannies that they follow their grandchildren not to suffer from not to vaccinated.
At the end of the training, a big and interesting responsibility was waiting the agents of change for vaccination to make realize people in different regions with the knowledge of skills that they gained during training. The most active agents of the offices of the NGO, Parents for Vaccination, will gain financial support for the establishment in their cities.
Flash mobs, meeting of parents and medicians, active outreach and work. This is how Ukrainian Immunization Week was held. The large-scale action was opened with morning exercises in Troitska Square in Kyiv. Details in our correspondence materials.
The students of the National University of Physical Education and Sports elucidated that vaccination is beneficial for health like morning exercise. This is why on the 24th of April, they spent their morning at the Troitska Square near the Olympijski Stadium, motivated the Kyiv residents and guests of the capital with energy and good mood. Today we are doing such an exercise, a sport event for people, encourage them to sport and publicize it in our country. I want to live long, to be healthy, handsome and rich and so on. That is why I easily wake up in the morning, doing exercise and show everybody else what they need to do. The morning exercise flash mob, sponsored by the Rotary Club of Kyiv City, opened the Ukrainian Immunization Week.
National University couldn't stay aside from such an event, which in my opinion is very important for Kyiv and for our country.
Якщо буде така пропаганда,
If such a promotion continues throughout the country in all the universities, people will know more what it's all about, because now some people are afraid of vaccination. And such events assure people that everything is for our health and for the better future. Kyiv wasn't the only city where the healthy lifestyle and opportunity of vaccination were promoted, with sports activities during the Ukrainian Immunization Week. Such flash mobs took place in Lviv, Khmelnytsky, and other Ukrainian cities.
He is called the Ukrainian mom's favorite doctor. Evgeny Komarovsky had a meeting with parents in Olympijsky NSK in Kyiv. Journalists of Rotary News know how the meeting went and what Dr. Komarovsky spoke with parents about.
Volodymyr and Victoria Stepanyuk came to the Olympijsky Stadium with their son. While the 6-month-old namesake of Evgeny Komarovsky was examining our microphone, his parents were sharing hopes for the meeting with a famous doctor and their opinions for vaccination.
I want to learn more about immunization methods and to observe them.
Ми робимо щеплення.
We vaccinated our baby. We are trying to take care of his health. So we are trying to use all the medical heritage that exists for today. The meeting of parents with Evgeny Komarovsky was arranged by non-government organization Parents for Vaccination, supported by Rotary International. It was one of the numerous events of the Ukrainian Immunization Week. Our organization, Parents for Vaccination, which is also run due to Rotary movement, is making every effort for the idea of vaccination and immunization, for necessity to be further promoted in Ukraine. I've been hosting the World Immunization Week for the 4th year, but I hosted it by myself, and now it appears that there are people who are ready to stand by me, and I appreciate them much. I hope the number of such people will be increased year by year.
I would like to learn more about vaccination. I am concerned with this, as every mom is. I think there should be more of such meetings, because there is a huge number of those who are against the vaccination. Unfortunately, even some of my relatives are against it. We're concerned about the BCG vaccination. We don't have it yet, and we want to get some information about it. We need to protect our children from the earliest days of their lives. Vaccination is the only way to protect them from severe diseases. I have 2 children, and sure I'm concerned with immunization issues and how to make my children's health stronger. I want them to be healthy, and this is what I need to do at the first place as a mom.
While the adults were communicating and discussing the vaccination issues, kids were on board as well. There were playrooms, animators, and workshops for children. The meaningful dialogue on vaccination took 2 hours. Parents had a huge number of questions to Dr. Evgeny Komarovsky because today discussed the most important thing, the children's health and life. I feel soon we will have organizations like Parents for Order on the Roads, Parents for Safe Internet. Yes, we have to, as parents, protect our children. This is the most important thing. This is our mission, to provide security for our children. Ignoring this responsibility in our state is wrong, so we need to fulfill the obligations.
Level of vaccination in Ukraine is still one of the lowest in the world according to recent official data. It creates a critical hazard for the common health condition of population, as claimed Niyazi Chekmak, the leader of Health Systems Training of World Health Organization Europe.
In 2000s, your country was performing quite well, but unfortunately, after an event in 2008, and due to mismanagement of the event, trust to immunization significantly deteriorated in this country. And since that time, coverage is at unacceptable levels. Coverage for most of the vaccines are varying between 20% to 50%, and that's not acceptable. And we are here to raise awareness on immunization, to build trust to immunization so that the program performance reaches expected levels. All of us, parents, public, decision makers, non-governmental organizations, government should do their best to restore the immunization program performance in Ukraine.
On the 24th of April, upon the initiative of a non-governmental organization Parents for Vaccination, the press conference How to Achieve the European Immunization Level was held. It was supported by Rotary in Ukraine. Representatives of World Health Organization, doctors, organizers of Ukrainian Immunization Week met with journalists.
Both journalists and parents could ask some questions to participants of the press conference How to Reach the Level of Immunization in Europe, which took place in Olympijski Stadium in Kyiv. The immunization issue is still urgent in Ukraine, as stated by doctors and representatives of World Health Organization. Last year, only 46% of Ukrainian children were covered with vaccination, and the positive dynamics of the official statistics do not always speak consistent with reality. I personally guarantee that minimum 1 or 3 of these figures are false. WHO is fighting with it and will fight further. But I firstly draw the mass media's attention to the fact that the issue on responsibility for falsification of infectious diseases and vaccination data is matter of national security for today. For today, the vaccine is available in sufficient quantity in Ukraine, as stated by Oksana Sivak, the Deputy Minister of Health.
Now we're seeing agreements on the next shipment of vaccines, which will be available in summer. So we'll have 100% requirement for those children following the vaccination plan. And we have some funds to buy additional vaccines for those children who didn't have their scheduled vaccines.
If the medical establishment still refuses you for vaccination, you have to protect your child's rights to be healthy, as advised by representatives of non-government organizations. There is a good tool, non-government organization, Parents for Vaccination. You just need to email us at info.bzv.org.ua or call us, and we sort out each issue in Department of Health, in WHO, and we call the head doctors. The safe vaccination level can't be reached because of parents' distrust to vaccination, provoked with an intensive anti-vaccination campaign. The situation with polio outbreak in Ukraine in summer 2 years ago, it had clearly shown that we can't ignore vaccination. We had a polio outbreak. We are not the only one country where the outbreak took place, but we are only in Europe. Sorry, in Europe. And we had already eradicated polio in our country before that. And this was caused by the decreasing level of children's vaccination.
We have to work continuously with parents and healthcare professionals and equip them with evidence-based information.
At the end of the conference, the participants called parents and journalists for cooperation for children to grow up healthy and protected. Let's get vaccinated, because we are worth it.
Learn more about the people from around the world who joined into one community to make our world better. Watch the Vladimir Shevermin author's program Rotary and Rotarians in the playlist by the link under this video.
Rotary, official Ukrainian magazine of District 2232. Rotarian functions in Ukraine and in all corners of the globe. Discover the world of Rotary. Multimedia publishing is by the link under the video.
The first convention of District 2232, Rotarians of Ukraine and Belarus will meet in ancient Lviv in late May. The convention will sum up the first year of district activity. Ovidiy Kasha, Rotary International President's representative, will be a participant of the Rotarian meeting. Rotary is a community of talented and successful people. Our next reportage proves it completely.
Don 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 diri diri don diri diri don don luli.
We met Lesia Shavlovska, past president of the Rotary Club Kyiv-Pecharsk, at the end of the last year. Then Rotarians made a present, a piano to the children theater Halabuda.
One? No, your hand. No, one by one, look. One? No, don't hurry up. One? No, I'll tell you when you have to. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2.
Music has always been in Lesia's life. She is living with it since having entered the city music school in Kamianets-Podilsky when she was a little girl. Today, Lesia Shavlovska is a conductor of the academic choir of the National Radio Company of Ukraine. And recently, she has tried as a songwriter and composed the Koleskova.
Котик руденький, ходи до хати, час же дитину вкладати спати. Дитя маленьке, радість у хаті, ходи, котусю, сон закликати. Ходи, котусю, сон закликати.
The composition has appeared in a very interesting way. I had fever, I got ill before the New Year Eve, and I've been staying in my bed for a day or so with a fever, and then I got up, took a recording device, recorded lullaby, and then got ill for another 4 days again. It was quite unexpectedly for me.
For now, Koleskova is only available to be performed by author, but the composer is already interpreting her song composition for choir and soloists.
The first verse is in a low alt, like a granny. The second is a high tenor, this is a father. The third is a mother's voice, and the fourth verse is very low, beautiful, splendid, it's a bass, it's a grandpa. And the fifth is all together. We're going to record it for our foundation of radio, and then I hope it will be an interesting and successful record for our children.
Котик руденький, нічка на дворі, все спить навколо, місяць і зорі, сон і дрімота стоять коло плота, шукають хатку, де мале дитятко, шукають хатку, де мале дитятко.
It was the last reportage of today's release. Don't stint the likes and share the links of Rotary News in your social networks. Inform us about interesting events in your Rotary clubs and we'll cover them in the nearest release. Redaction's phones and email are in the description below this video. Join the multiplying of good deeds. See you soon.